I'm ready. Born ready.
So he picked Loyola. I think we got a 4-0 sweep on that, right?
We all agree with Loyola?
Everyone
Well, agree
agrees
with
with that
Loyola.
part.
Moving back to the top of the bracket, obviously some people picked UC Irvine, including me, but then I switched. But then I don't think it necessarily matters.
It's okay.
UC Irvine.
I was a Panther, now I'm a Cowboy, so we got no choice.
You can do that, yeah. So I don't think it matters, and not in a disrespectful way, but I just think UCLA is probably the scariest team in the tournament, in my opinion. They're just solid all around. They're setter, butter. I love them.
Yeah.
Especially in a game, and I know me and Joe have talked about this, where now with the doubles rule, there's a lot of room for what people like to call athletic setters, which nothing wrong with
Like
them.
Rowan.
But there's nothing like a setter that can put the ball where it needs to be. And I think that's very important. And I think that's why UCLA is probably going to take this next matchup, even if it's Penn State. This is my opinion, obviously. I don't want to speak for you guys, but UC Irvine or Penn State, I don't think it really matters. I think UCLA has the pieces, has the momentum, has the gameplay
Experience.
to just go past this. You know what I mean? They've been there a couple times. They know what to do. So I'm excited to see. Obviously, it's going to be a good game. I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout, but it's obvious to me how much talent is in that team, and that's why I'm excited to kind of pick them. So I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts on that matchup.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, UCLA and UC Irvine went to 5 sets early this year, right? So if it's UC Irvine, there's some matches there that might, prove you wrong. But I agree with you. Watching UCLA, which is always on mainstream everywhere when I see volleyball they're on, they seem like the team to beat.
Especially Joe Ward. It's not the same play at first that play at the end. So taking that 29-1, very solid team for experience. I go with UCLA.
And going to service to Rowan.
Yeah, dude, their serving is bomb, and I think it kind of reminds me. You remember that team, Joe? That Ohio State team?
The one that concussed you?
That one. Yes, that same exact team.
Yeah, I remember.
But it's just
Bring it back,
lineup. You know that it's one big serve after another, where you're kind of like, okay, we just side it out, cool. They get the ball back. It's like, well, now we got to side out again, and again, and again.
Here's another problem.
Right.
Here's another problem.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's good for them. But it's just that kind of team that's going to create those problems for you.
Yeah.
If it's gonna matter, but he came from international experience a little bit, playing with the USA team. He played against Simon Timeno, so he got experience.
Who's this now?
We're talking about setter Rowan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So he came this experience after he finished last year, and he gonna get that like emotion to bring it back that UCLA had.
He's a senior, so we're gonna leave everything on the court for that team. So
I'm gonna throw this out to you guys, right? You remember his freshman year?
Yes.
Championship.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sophomore year?
Yeah.
Championship.
They got two.
Yeah.
2 in a row.
And then they lost last year.
This man is
Yeah.
This man is hungry, I'm sure. Not that the entire team and staff is not. And at that point, everything you guys set the table with, it's UCLA for sure. I'd like to say it could be in 4. My heartstrings are pulling for Penn State here and there. Like we said, Pav's going on his last ride. Recency bias has me going, Penn State does some nice things. I think UCLA, for a lot of different reasons, are bringing some things to the table that unless you play against it, or you've been preparing for it, where you can have multiple night sleeps, multiple weeks of night sleeps in a row to let the ether kind of settle on some things and let some things kind of work themselves out as well, you're going to have moments of holy smokes. And I think, you could go play West Coast teams every other week if you wanted to. If you weren't, unless you're planning to play that level all the time, it's going to be a really tough out for everybody. So I'm going to go UCLA, probably in 3 on that one, because we haven't talked about their middles. Like, their outsides are alien-like, without a doubt. All their pins, tall, lanky, do a lot of great things, almost all third contacts. They're sophisticated, but they bring power and range as well. And that's normally you're going, okay, so if we stop them, we'll be in decent shape. I swear to you, those athletic middles from UCLA can go up against 2 and 3 blockers and still do some damage, right? So you imagine now you just got guys bailing out or balling out just to make sure I get a pass up, whether they're in their approach right or not. Rowan's good enough to find the guy that's going to be needing the set and who's open. So I go UCLA in that one.
Shout out to Thorne, by the
Yeah,
way.
Cam Thorne, Florida
Yeah,
region,
Florida
legend.
region alum.
Yeah.
So I think we just want to shout that out because obviously we're not biased, but we love the Florida region.
He's a dope dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. He's cool. And he brings it on the court. He's super awesome off the court, and obviously almost brings a little bit of, like, in the NBA, they talk about different guys that are normal size, right? You
Right.
got your Steph Curry this, and you got even Anthony Edwards to a certain point, 6'5"-ish, but just jumping above or over everybody else, making, some of us normal athletic folk kind of like, all right, yeah, there's a chance for everybody. Like, he's doing some things that are unbelievable. So, yeah, shout out to them.
Watching him playing against you the finals, it was ridiculous.
Hmm.
I think also as an outsider, because obviously I'm not in the court, but you can tell he's vocal. You can tell he's getting the guys on the right.
He's
set
a
of-
leader.
Yeah,
He works hard.
he works hard. I'm excited. He's been in the national team gym in the
Hmm.
ages, so I think that's just something that adds to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we used to cover him at club level, he, the match was done. He was like back to like, he was super intense on the court, but then he was super chill outside of it, and everybody would love him. So shout out.
That's good to hear
Yeah.
too. It means it's been genuine for a long time. That's great.
So 4 UCLA picks here. Moving on, we have Ball State waiting for the winner of Pepperdine and Fort Valley State. Obviously, we said Pepperdine, so just assuming Pepperdine advances. Ball State versus Pepperdine. This is interesting. Now
This is the toughest one to pick for me.
I think you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's a lot of fire in Ball State. They're playing at home, right?
That's the thing. They got home court.
They're playing at home,
Yeah.
big ceiling gym. That's not something, I know it sounds dumb, but that's not something that you're used to if you're not used to it.
Yeah, the view is different.
And you remember the sound in that gym. You try to overhit everything when you're in there because it just sounds like everything's a little muffled.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to play in there. So I'm
It's like you got a silencer on your arm.
Dude, I remember playing there. It's crazy, and I'm excited for this matchup. Obviously, there is the size difference. Ball State has a lot of good attributes, but obviously Pepperdine is such a big team that I'm going to have to say that I'm going to side with Pepperdine on this one, just because I think they could pull it off. And I say pull it off as an upset, which it may sound like in the standings, but when you look at these rosters, it's a very even matchup for me in my mind. But I think I'm going with Pepperdine. Joe, I want to hear from you. What are you thinking? Obviously, it's a tough pick. So what's in your mind right now?
So I'm going to have to pick this one off the cuff, off the rip, because I don't know what I'm thinking on this one. Some thoughts are, we've talked about Pepperdine already and what they bring to the table. Ball State, I wouldn't say, with respect to everybody they played throughout their conference tournament, just thank you. You guys can go warm the bus up. We've got a mission, right? This dude, Patrick Rogers, is That's his middle name, is that dude. I don't know what else to say. He doesn't always look traditional. I don't know how tall he is. I'm sure he's in like that lanky 6'7", maybe a little bit bigger, but arms, reaching close to 6'10", maybe 6'11", 7 foot. I don't know. But one of those dudes that has an arm where you're like, oh, look at him slicing and dicing, doing his thing. And then all of a sudden he just goes over you and he's at an altitude that's legit. So, I don't know where end of season awards are going to end up shaken out to being or what they're going to look like. It wouldn't surprise me if he's first team All-American and then some. If there are some before you get player of the year, I don't know if Ball State or he is in contention for that or not. But let's just say these things are voted on later and Ball State wins this match and then they win the next match. I think he's a shoo-in for one of the player of the year candidates, right? It's just because Ball State has been a top 10 team and not a top 5 team that he might not be in that category. So you mentioned like, oh, back in the day when Penn State had Aaron Russell on the team. That is what Pat Rogers is to that team. They've got better supporting casts at certain points in time than maybe Aaron had. Plus, you add that to the table. Super tenacious on defense all the way around. Blocking is solid. Serving is very good. So that's one of those things where, especially because they're playing at home, I could see it going Ball State 4. I could also see it going Pepperdine in 4, maybe 3, maybe 5. Like, I don't know if I can call that one for certain. Right now, I'll say Ball State in 4.
We do.
And ride with that. Go chalk at the end of the day. I came full circle just to say chalk.
I'm with you there. I think Ball State playing at home with the great arena. I got a feeling there with Daddy Delgado, a few guys that played there before. A little bit of story of Puerto Rican going there to play college. And Patrick Rogers is doing a great job there. They got a decent setter, so I think that that's why they're in they're 4 of the winning that 24-4 this year. I think that I'm going with you, Joe, as 4 sets. Ball State pass.
Yeah, I got Ball State too. I think they got a bunch of international experience too. That you got to take that into consideration when you play a tournament like this. And we got a homeboy too. We got Tyler from Florida region too, from Winter Park.
Winter
Yes.
Park.
Yeah, who's coming and doing some real nice things. Scoring points every time he goes to serve, it seems. He's crushing it.
He has a lot of tricks in his belt. So
Yeah.
to him for sure.
Yeah.
He's a baller. He's a baller. Here's what I'll say too. The matchup to watch for is going to be obviously Rogers and Harkey, but do they get matched up on one another? Does that happen to bear fruit more often than not? And what happens? Not that the other right front, their setter, can't do some damage as well blocking. He's not a bad blocker. He's a good blocker as well. But like I said, we got 12 feet on high 11s, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens with that matchup.
By the way, just for clarity, Patrick Rogers stands at 6'7". Just looked at the roster. Picked that up for you, Joe. You were asking what the exact numbers were.
I was asking, but I was also
You
not
were
wrong.
close.
Okay.
You were in that range.
I'm giving you a hard time.
That's what we have in you.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Gadget, what are you going with? You going Ball State?
I said Ball State. Yeah, they have
Ball
State.
my experience and
I'm the odd man out here.
yes,
The Pepperdine pick.
usually you are.
Yeah.
But Brian, this is what wins brackets, right?
Right.
This is
Right.
what wins brackets at
Right.
the end of the day. So
I'm acting like now that I'm like not a college student, I can actually put money on this. So I'm acting like there's money behind this. So I'm actually thinking about my picks. There's no emotion attached to this.
Oh, it's
so
no
sorry.
actually it's research here, knowledge.
Next
due
matchup,
diligence.
another exciting one. Hawaii USC.
USC.
USC wins. Well, we all picked USC, so
Right.
that's what I'm going based on.
I go with Avi. Remember?
So you went with Bowman Abbey.
Yes,
Well,
sir,
we're not
yes.
gonna talk.
Yes, he did.
I'm kidding.
Yes, he did.
But so let's start with this. Let's start assuming USC goes on. I'm
Yes.
sorry, didn't use the word assuming. This is probably going to be super fun to watch. There's a lot of high flyers on the court. Hawaii has the French outside, which I don't even want to try to say his name because I'm going to butcher it. But this dude is hitting from a different floor in the gym, Joe. Like, I'm just watching him go against Long Beach, going up, didn't matter, 2 blockers, 3 blockers. This dude is hitting OT.
You talking about Sakanoa?
Sakano.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God he was fast.
That's why we have Joe here. That's
Yeah.
why I wasn't even going to try to say
Well,
that.
his first name is
Well,
Joe.
Roar is smooth and doesn't look like he's jumping a ton until he's jumping a ton too. So I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
This one's hard for me, right? Hawaii has been that team that's been consistent. Obviously, they took down Long Beach. They faced tough competition and kind of come up in the winning side of it a lot. Obviously, they didn't win the finals, but that's okay. I think it's gonna be fun to watch, and I think obviously, do they play at home? They're
playing.
Yeah.
higher seed. Playing in Hawaii has to be a
It's
different.
kind of wild. They go all the way back to Hawaii now, but I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I never got the chance to personally play there, but just watching it on TV, I cannot imagine being in front of that huge of a crowd who are all against you because there's no non-Hawaii fans in that gym at any time. So I think it is exciting. I'm gonna go with Hawaii just because they're playing at home. I think that's gonna give them an edge over USC, even though it's gonna be a super fun match to watch. It's gonna be like kind of like the NBA game when you have 2 high flyers like Anthony Edwards and all that kind of good stuff. It's just gonna be that. I think it's gonna be a real back and forth kind of match, and I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, I got Hawaii, but again, like if USC, I said this before, like they're serving errors, but if they have it all together and they come up to play like they can, that's a tough matchup and so long. But I got Hawaii too. They're playing at home, with momentum. I got Hawaii winning.
Well, I'm gonna stay here a little.
Oh, here we go.
I got Bemo Navi because they're hot, as I mentioned.
Oh, look at this man.
But coming to Hawaii, playing in that crowd, it's like,
That's what the Cinderella story ends.
yeah. If they're playing other plays, I would think I can keep going with them. But with that, I'm choosing Hawaii pass. And plus, they are really consistent. They got a great crew. The 2023 finals, they want that back. So I think they're hungry to keep going that and pass to the end.
No,
Yeah, this is a tough one. This is the second toughest for me. Probably for you guys maybe as well, but I think I gotta go. I changed my pick last second here. I was gonna go USC at first. I'm gonna go Hawaii. I didn't know it was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right. Forgive me, but that is a big deal. It's not the biggest deal in the world because USC has been there, done that. They have international players, or I shouldn't say it that way. They have players with international experience, have played in big venues before, played in front of big crowds. They've got a big venue on their own. And I think they've just seeing, I think the MPSF was played at the at BYU spot, and they normally pack that house, and it gets pretty crazy in there. So I know they didn't play BYU in their conference tournament, but at the same time, they know what that environment looks like. That being said, when I rewatch this Hawaii Long Beach 5-setter, I want you to think about this for a second. Hawaii is just pissed.
Yep.
I think when I watched, and this is again only what I know versus not anything against the team, but Long Beach took that from Hawaii.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they knew they were going to have to take it at a certain point. And they played like they knew how to take it, and then they took it. Hawaii's now sitting on that for a week and a half plus. The last volleyball they get to play is against a team that did that to them. And now they get to play at home. There's a lot going into that where it's just a buzzsaw that USC has to walk into. So I think if their service pressure is where Gadget says it could be, it's going to be a very competitive match. Hawaii has the ball control. Hawaii also has the height and the athleticism to match up with USC. And that's what I want you to think about. So Jordan in the middle is, I don't know, 6'9" himself, but long and lanky and long enough to impact a 7-foot Parker Tompkinson or a 6'11" Wes, right? Their other middle does a great job. He's a high motor guy. He's got enough size as well. But then you talk about what they have on the right front. Like Dylan and Sterling are great, and Dylan is unreal. He might be player of the year this year, but Tread is 6'9", 6'10", and Tretinsky, I can't remember his first name, is Chris something, but he's maybe 6'6", but he's still long as heck. And if it's not him, it's Kainoa, who's 6'10". So you're not going to have an easy out in terms of how you're trying to side the ball out.
6'8", Christian.
Say that again for me, rookie.
6'8", Christian.
Yeah, he's 6'8". There you go, right? So it's, that's going to be a tough out for USC. And I hope I think it will be a very competitive match. And this is crazy to think about. It'd be a different, matchup, but I would actually maybe pick USC if Hawaii was on a win streak right now. I think it's specifically that loss that kind of kicks them back into gear and allows them to recalibrate for one last, what kind of adjustment are we going to make to this machine before we make our final push? And they'll be grateful for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that slap in the face was a good timing for them. Sometimes that happens too late, and then you can't do anything. But for them, I think Hawaii has a chip on their shoulder, and they want to prove, a lot of people wrong.
It's this one specifically too. It might also be because it was Long Beach, right? If this happened in the semis, or if this was a different finals matchup, we might not be talking the same thing. But I got Hawaii 3-1 over that one. Also 3-1, but minimum three deuce sets, I think.
I think, and also adding to why I picked Hawaii, it gives me a chance to kind of see them face Long Beach if they were to make it as well. Get a little rematch.
Okay, so does this happen? Because that's my second ask, is how do these brackets shake back out?
So if Hawaii were to beat USC or Bowman Abbey,
yes,
thank you.
They would play the winner of Long Beach and whoever comes out of
Loyola. Oh, no reseed. This is big. This is big, guys.
But just for that pick alone makes it just worth it even more. Like, I want to see that.
It's juicy.
I want to see a real time, like, okay, guys.
Where do they play? Let me see.
It doesn't say that far off.
What?
I'm gonna check it.
Semis?
The main 9.
Oh, they play at Poly Pavilion. They're gonna go to UCLA.
They go to UCLA are the semis.
So that's California.
That's California.
If I'm Hawaii, I'm figuring out how to just stay in California this whole time. That's wild. You're gonna have to go travel back for one match to come on back. That might be the dagger right there. Not to take anything away from Long Beach. I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm looking at this going, damn, did they really make Long Beach and UCLA match up in the semis if it all goes the same way? And I'm happy that's not the case.
No, yeah. So like I said, that's just gonna be that's gonna make a dope trailer. If you were to make a trailer for a movie, you can talk about how they lost and this is their chance at redemption. So I love that story. So I'm gonna go with that.
Well, you ignore completely.
You're talking about
you ignore completely Long Beach and Loyola.
No, that's fine.
I
was thinking ahead, and if that were to happen, so no, it's okay.
Of Hawaii and Long Beach.
So we picked.
I saw the filter where you put on invisibly before that, Brian. Yeah.
I just got too excited. I jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We all picked Hawaii.
But I got Long
bring you
Beach,
back.
by the way.
Is it four Hawaii's? Is it fair to say?
Yeah, I'm going Hawaii 3-1, but like I said, 3 of those at least are deuce sets.
No, you wanted to go in order. So Hawaii versus Bowman Abbey. You're picking Hawaii, correct? Cinderella story.
Yes.
Put in order here.
Yeah, coach. Blow the whistle.
Hawaii all the way.
So now we can move on. Long Beach, Loyola. So I'm gonna go right ahead and say I'm picking Long Beach since I checked.
Yeah.
I'm picking Long Beach.
It just makes sense. They have the Polish kid on the right side. I don't want to say
Holy smokes, this kid, man.
that man can score.
Listen. Yeah, keep going with the picks. Maybe we'll get into this one a little bit long-winded, but holy smokes, that kid.
Another guy I'm super excited about, Skylar Varga.
Yeah, Varga's the man.
he does a lot of nice things in the back row. I think that goes unnoticed a lot of times. So it's not only putting the ball away. This guy is going on the floor. I've seen him play defense in 5, seen him play
Mhm.
defense in 6. This guy is all over the place. And I think that's exciting. That's
All
good
over.
to see.
Yep.
I love to see a player like that. Obviously,
He's probably the most complete player in the tournament. And I don't mean that to take away from your Dylan Klein, a Sean Kelly, a Zach Rama, uh, even a Barnett at Pepperdine or Patrick Rogers. But there's a level of precision that Skylar Varga brings to the table with every facet of the game that you can see while he's playing. He's technical with his platform. He's technical with his hands when he blocks. He's technical with his footwork. You can see that he trains or has trained things for the 100,000 hour, 100,000 rep, 10,000 hour type mindset, just wanting to get better. And yeah, he leads with his communication, but with his play 100%. You can't really cut corners when you're playing on the court with somebody like that. So,
Last year in the finals, he was the most consistent player.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So
they also have Jackson Christ, who's a freshman,
Yeah.
6'10"
Huge.
middle blocker. I think when it clicks really well. I think he's still learning a lot of things. Obviously, he's a freshman. I'm gonna cut him some slack, but I think it is very exciting when he's at a high level and he can stay at that high level. He can be a difference maker for sure as well. So I think obviously the obvious pick to talk about is their right side. Gaychek. Am I saying that right? I'm not even sure.
I don't know if it's Gayek or if
Yeah.
it's Gayek. You can call it whatever you want. He's the scorer, man. He's the point scorer.
And full respect to him if he's watching. Not because I can't say your name. Full respect to you, my dude.
Yeah,
He
we
can
are
really,
Yeah.
bilingual.
We're gonna take some time on you, my man.
he can really score. And not only can he score, because we've seen players that are like, okay, they get up, they hit over the block, they have a couple shots. This dude can hit it anywhere. I think he
Anywhere.
like a 480 in the finals. It was something close to that. That's ridiculous. That's just they couldn't stop him.
He looks like he has all the gears, but he does everything that he needs to do to take about 80, I'm gonna get real technical, 88 to 92%. It's about 90% of his swings as hard as he can. As hard as he can hit the ball, he's hitting the ball. And when it's not there, he just does what he needs to do with it, whether it's give it to the team a certain way, whether it's to chop one in a little bit short, whether it's to figure it out to just play out of it. But it don't matter. He terminates the play.
He's Polish, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never been to Poland, but the videos and playing in that environment, he grew up in there. This is a cupcake for him. So I can't wait to see him playing at this.
There's a lot of upcoming talent as well in Poland. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping he gets back home and goes in that gym. It's
I
probably
mean, I don't, it's funny you brought up that Ohio State team earlier. He's not the same body type, but his arm swing looks exactly like Surgeon's.
it can because
It's up and down quick, and
Right.
it's just tall, and he's putting everything. I mean, his serve looks like Surgeon's. Literally, he doesn't run before it, right? He's only taken 2 or 3 steps beforehand, or excuse me, only 2 or 3 steps afterwards. It seemed like Surgeon's had 5 or 6 steps to his serve. But same low toss, run through it, landed on the 15-foot line, slowing himself down before he gets to the 10 line. Like he's a real deal. He's a freshman too, right? So he's doing all this stuff at 18, which is more impressive.
And we got Peluso at Long Beach too.
One time.
from
I-
Florida.
Time for Peluso.
Yeah, the Florida region legend. Shout out.
Yeah. I just think the way that Long Beach is playing the game right now, and this is shout out to the coaching staff that's there too, between Nick, McKay, and Amir that's there. Like with Allen leaving, this could have been the down year. This could have been the year that people excuse because there's not a culture change, right? But just a change in leadership. And I'm sure Al is still around and still there for whatever those guys need. But yeah, they just reloaded. And you think about it, last year, it's like, oh, they've got Nikolov, so this should be because they got Nikolov. It's like, well, they don't have that guy this year, and they're still in almost the same damn position.
Yep.
So
props to him, new coach stepping up in that kind of environment, because obviously you're going from the highest of highs to take on for a big name. Stalin, that's a huge name. Obviously, he's been involved in all their national championship as a player and as a coach. So taking on that role and
performing. Yeah.
like
Shout out to Nick.
Nick
like-
McRae is that dude as well, so it doesn't surprise me at all. I'm happy to say, well, that's a tough job, and he answered the call without a doubt.
So we got super excited talking about Long Beach, but they are playing another team. They are playing the winner of Loyola or St. Francis. We picked up for the purpose of this exercise. You didn't pick anything different, right?
No.
No, Loyola. So for the purpose of this exercise, do you see Loyola doing something magical and pulling this one off?
No, I don't. I don't mean that to spend less time on Loyola. I think Long Beach is that good. I think they're going to be ready for that moment. I think they're not a team that I worry about not being able to get up for a match, right? These are a bunch of boys that want to ball. And I love when you get a group of dudes together, a group of people together that just want to ball out. And different cultures on the team within that strong of a culture that they've always kept. Yeah, I think I've got Long Beach against almost every team in this tournament.
Beautiful. Well, we're down to our final four. It looks like I was the only one to pick Pepperdine, but that's fine. UCLA, Ball State, Hawaii, and Long Beach. That's how it looks for the majority of it.
Why don't you go UCLA Pepperdine first? What do you think about that?
So if that were to happen, I think it would be the toughest matchup for UCLA just because of size. I think if they were to make it that far, UCLA obviously has the size as well. I'm not saying that's why it would be a tough matchup, but to match UCLA's height, you would need a big team. Obviously, no disrespect to Ball State, but they're not in that physicality of the game. They're good all-around volleyball players. They're good players.
Yeah.
That physical level that Pepperdine and UCLA can show on the court. So if I were to talk about that matchup, I would still pick UCLA. I think, like I said, there's just so many things going the right way for UCLA that it doesn't matter who you put in front of them. I think they're still going to come out on top. But I personally would have loved to see that Pepperdine UCLA matchup to happen.
That's what we do in the bracket.
Right.
So everybody.
Yeah, we'll see.
Different opinions. That's why
we'll see May 9th who's right. So, but now you guys picked Ball State.
Yes,
so I want to hear you, Joe, first. What's your train of thought on that one? UCLA, Ball State, playing at UCLA. Just keeping that in mind.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It's not marginally the biggest thing, but playing at home is a big deal. And now you're talking about not only playing at home, but you're playing the rest of the way at home if you keep winning, right? This is the true host site at this point. So I think Ball State belongs there. That's the thing. So I don't think this is just going to be a straight whitewash, but I do think that UCLA comes out of that one. Whether it's 4+ or whether it's 3-0, I don't know. I know it's going to be competitive because I know the guys on Ball State, the coaching staff at Ball State, like they're going to be prepared. They're going to come up with a game plan that gives them trouble. But I think the narrative is it's Ball State trying to create a narrative, or excuse me, the narrative Ball State trying to create a game plan to give a team trouble, right? That team is everybody's throwing what they can at that team all year. So the fact that it's not just all these two teams that are going to match up against each other and we'll see what happens, and it's what can Ball State do to derail UCLA, I got to go UCLA with this one.
And I think the last time they played, Ball State won the first set, but then they made the adjustments. And it was a close match all the way through, but they couldn't redo what they did on the first set. So I think UCLA has the pieces to control, Ball State. They're at home. So I think, I love Lucas Machado running it, but I think I go in with UCLA.
And we get that. I'm going with UCLA to get that at the end. The final, they're home. They're doing great job this year, 29-1. Yeah, there's no more to talk about it.
So we got 4 UCLAs. That makes it easier. And then we have the dream scenario that I jumped the gun in. Hawaii, Long Beach.
Producer, put me some rookie
No,
music
don't
here.
touch it. But yes, put some dramatic music. This is gonna be crazy.
Do
So
you have, Brian?
So this is the match.
This is at UCLA as well.
this is at UCLA.
Yes.
So it's not anybody's house, right? It's the neighbor's house.
Yeah, but it's close.
Hawaii beat Long Beach twice in the regular season. I was just making sure my numbers are right. They won
same.
in 5 sets. They've swept them the second time, and then they lost in the finals.
Right.
It looks
In
like-
5, right?
In 5,
yes.
correct.
And almost the same score.
I think, as exciting as it seems to watch Hawaii play, I think it's just, like we said, momentum.
Yes.
They did get those 2 matches in the regular season. Long Beach got the upper hand on that last match. And you can say the other argument, obviously, Hawaii is going to be mad, and there's that vengeance aspect of it. But I do think Long Beach getting that win is huge for them. Getting those freshman players to have that, okay, we won. This is what it feels to win. It's just going to give Long Beach, in my mind, the upper hand in this matchup. Any thoughts of you guys?
Yeah, I think this is a legacy game for Gajek, especially like if he wants to establish himself as one of those dudes, he Long Beach needs to win this match, and yeah,
I differ with you guys. I'm putting Hawaii.
you put in Hawaii.
Yes.
Ball control.
Well, they get angry if they come hungry. If they wanted that revenge, I love love stories. It will be a love story. Hawaii getting at the end. I think 3-0, 2 wins, 1 loss, but the numbers were very similar in statistics. But this is a hot game, so the one that get the momentum and get hot, that I think Hawaii is gonna be more quicker on that. That they're gonna take a little more experience. But yeah, that's my thing. I think Hawaii is gonna win this. If they go to 5, it's gonna be difficult. If they won on 4, I think Hawaii is gonna get 3. And I love those. So love story.
You're going for the traditional,
Uh.
going for the traditional. Go for Hawaii, Rainbow Warriors. They're always been a historically fighting team. They're always in the conversation.
Yes.
So I like it. Joe, thoughts?
I'm going Long Beach with this one. Just for a lot of the reasons that you guys just spoke on, and some of the things that we spoke on before. I think when I watched that semifinal, which again is recency bias, and Hawaii can make adjustments, they will make certain adjustments, I'm sure. Long Beach might have a few other tricks up their sleeve, and they're waiting to make certain adjustments, right? They're smart staff. I think when you whittle this one down, I watched that final, and watching Long Beach take like Hawaii did what they could. At a certain point, it wasn't gonna happen for them, and they are gonna sit for a while, and they have that matchup against the winner of USC Belmont Ebby, and they're gonna be able to put the pedal to the metal and go through that. Long Beach found a gear with the players that they have that you're just not going to stop that. Doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net. Doesn't matter the service pressure because they can score against doubles and triple blocks. They got to keep the ball off the floor. Don't get me wrong. But I think that entire team is humming right now. And I don't want to, again, create too much towards somebody, bulletin board material for another team by any means. But I think they're hot right now. I think they're the team to beat.
So there we go. Now we're heading to the finals, and if it wasn't for rookie, we would all have UCLA,
the Battle of LA.
Long Beach in the finals. So we can start with you, rookie. So let's just think that Hawaii made the finals, right? UCLA, Hawaii. Do you see Hawaii completing that love story that you like so much?
Yes.
You have them going all the way.
I have my bracket. I put Hawaii winning all.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I know the numbers. I know players. UCLA is a great team. A shout out to everyone there. But yeah, I put in Hawaii at the end because they're gonna come 23. They're gonna go with Long Beach semifinals, and then I think that they're gonna kick back. You know, it can happen. Yeah.
Hey, that's why the game is played. Everything can happen. So you're not wrong.
You're not wrong at all. So that being said, you have
Yes.
them winning all the way. Us here with UCLA and Long Beach.
Yeah, I don't see UCLA losing this. They just 29-1 is not a number to be ignored. They've been dominant the whole year. I think they got all the resources. A setter, a stud, well coached, playing at home basically. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But again, like Carlos said, Truki said, anything can happen. But I will have to go to UCLA, taking it all.
Playing at home, like you said.
Joe, if you make it to the finals at home, you know when we lost when we hosted, it's been like what, many years and we still talk about that.
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
No, nobody want to lose.
You don't want to lose at home,
No.
Yeah.
especially if you make it all the way to the finals.
Mhm.
I don't see UCLA losing if they make it to the finals. I just don't. It's just that they're experienced enough to it. They understand that they're playing at home. They made it all the way to the finals. They had a tough road. They know what's at stake. And I think that alone will have them winning the whole thing. And again, I'm super excited to see this matchup. Long Beach is going to bring the heat. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. I have to pick one, right? So UCLA all the way. Joe, your thoughts on this matchup?
So yeah, UCLA at home, preparing for this moment all season. And it's when you know you're gonna host like that, then go whatever you said in one gadget, and only drop in one, which might not have been at home, might have been at home, also might not have been at home. You have to fact check me on it, but even if it was at home, it's your only folly all year. It's the only time that you've slipped up and you went back to the drawing board, and then you continue to just churn out dub after dub after dub, knowing that this is a moment that you're waiting for, right? I'm going Long Beach, fellas.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going Long Beach, boys. There's something to be said about UCLA being as good as they are. And I'm not so sure the level that either team is going to have to play at in the finals is higher than they've currently played at. Okay. And I know that might sound simple. It's the finals of the NCAAs. I get it. UCLA has had punches thrown their way, and they've been able to parry them down. They've been able to move and groove out of the way. They've been able to throw back, do whatever they needed to do. Because I don't think that anybody else to this point has brought enough heat for them to truly panic. But you're at home and you've waited all season for this. And maybe Long Beach pushes and takes the first set. How do you respond? Is there a collective calm? And I tell you right now, if UCLA comes out, punches and beats the shit out of Long Beach in the first set, Long Beach is going to go, thank you very much for that black eye. I'll take these stitches here. I'll make sure I bandage up here. Let's fucking go again. Right? So not that they're more weathered, but I do know that Long Beach is ready and has had to respond through many different environments and different bouts of adversity with different timelines, different narratives throughout the year. UCLA has had to respond to maintain that upper echelon of elite. So it will be a tough match without a doubt for both teams. But I'm going with momentum. I'm going with what I know, and it should be a competitive one. But who makes who panic first and sustains that is going to be everything to me.
I think it's gonna be a lot of pressure that final. Story says that UCLA handles it not the best way, losing at home. But in your part, Joe, Long Beach is gonna come hard, and if they kick the nervous and everything, I think Long Beach is gonna go there.
Yeah, is this a team that's gonna show up ready? You know, having Nick coaching that team, it's gonna be Long Beach. It's just personally, I feel that UCLA has the tools, but I wouldn't be surprised if Long Beach comes out and just smack them in the face, and it's like, well, this is the first time. I was looking at it. It was in a neutral court. It was in Malibu when they lost versus Pepperdine in five
Oh,
in Malibu. I don't.
okay.
I got to do more research to see why they play in Malibu, but that's what my research that said. Here.
There you have
Yeah,
it.
so
So
that's
they-
what I think. I don't know. I don't know if that's a 4 or 5 setter. I don't think a team is winning that in 3, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. And here's something to think about too. I don't think anybody had a non-top 4 team, but with the 12-team expansion, if you're a team like Pepperdine, you got to win 2 matches before you get to that semifinal now.
Yep.
And it's not anything about who's in front of you and how difficult some of those matches might be, you know, like a Ball State. But imagine having to play all of those sets in order to win. You could win 3-0, 3-0. You still have 6 more sets of volleyball before your next opponent, right?
Back games,
Yeah.
like against top,
Oh yeah.
competition before you get to the semifinals. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool too, but still a factor.
It is. It is a great fact.
So, recapping, we have 2 UCLA's, 1 Hawaii, 1 Long Beach going all the way. I like that we didn't pick the same team. I
Well,
really do.
we did.
Well, we did, but it
We're
was
brothers,
like,
we're
it
brothers.
wasn't an all
You
around.
texted my dad told me you cannot, you gotta tell Brian.
He's right. You gotta tell Brian he's right. So just pick
He's
UCLA.
gonna punch it right.
No, I think I'm super excited for this tournament. 12 teams just means more volleyball.
Yes, sir.
Great volleyball this year.
Great volleyball this year. More volleyball. Like you said, I don't see any team winning in 3. So hopefully we get some overtime volleyball and we get
Yes,
a
sir.
5-setter. So that way we can stay up all night watching volleyball. Joe, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It was awesome having you. We'll probably have you again. We'll probably talk
Yeah,
about volleyball.
definitely.
Obviously, this is just some fun bracketology with you. But
Thank you for taking that time. And
yeah, thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely, boys.
There's much love for
I
you.
don't know if it's an NCAA violation, but can we put like $25 on it? Like it's
Well, we can. Joe can't.
Yeah, I can't technically.
Joe can't. We can't.
You know, make sure the paper trail doesn't come back to me.
But yeah, man. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you
let's watch
guys next
some-
time.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. We can cut there, Joe. You don't have to leave, but
yeah,